This book is not a manual. It is not a step-by-step guide to fixing yourself, because you are not broken. This is a story, my story, a map of a journey I'm still walking. It is a remembering of what I forgot, and then choose to remember again, consciously this time, so that I could turn around and say, this is how I get here. These are the markers. If you want to walk this path, here's what I learned. The map is incomplete. It will always be incomplete because the journey doesn't end. It deepens. It spirals. And every turn reveals something new. But perhaps in these pages you will find something that resonates, a phrase that unlocks a door you didn't know was closed, a permission you didn't know you were waiting for, a reminder of what you have always known, buried beneath years of conditioning and criticism and trying to be anything other than exactly what you are. Here is what I wish for you. I wish that you could be exactly as you are, that you could unfold in your own time without apology or explanation. I wish that your very existence could be recognized as a gift, not because of what you achieve, but simply because you are. I wish that celebrating yourself could become as natural as breathing, that self-love could be taught from the beginning so that no child ever grows up believing they are not enough. I wish that being could be honored, that emotions could be felt without shame, that imperfection could be embraced as the only honest way to be human. I wish that the war could end for all of us, not through victory, but through surrender. The journey begins here. The part of the journey I have shared in these pages is deeply personal, but it is also universal, because we are all walking the same path, whether we know it or not. We are all remembering, we are all ascending, returning to the center, finding the divine, not in some distant heaven, but in the very core of our own being. Some people are further along the path, some are just beginning. Some have walked it many times before and are choosing to walk it again, more consciously, more fully. It doesn't matter where you are. What matters is that you keep walking, that you keep choosing again and again to meet yourself with compassion instead of criticism, to celebrate instead of diminish, to accept instead of punish. What matters is that you remember that you are not broken. You do not need to be fixed. You only need to remember what you have always been. The work continues. My portals are taking shape. The harmonic coherence journey has been building 9 files in total, a path designed to guide you through specific brainwave states, heart coherence, temporal awareness, and ultimately to a place of deep remembering. Each portal is a doorway, a frequency-based experience designed not to entertain, but to shift something fundamental in the nervous system, to quiet the inner critic, to open the heart, to remind you on a cellular level of what wholeness feels like. But you don't need my portals to walk this path. You can find your own doorways, your own practices, your own markers. All I offer is an invitation. Step through, see what happens. Trust the unfolding. Something is shifting, not just in me, but in all of us. People in different places who have never met are reporting similar experiences. A deepening of intuition, a sensitivity to energy, a growing awareness that we are moving towards something, a remembering of of what we were before we forgot. There is a wave moving through humanity. The first wave is already here. Recognizing each other across distances, tuning into the same frequency without coordinating, without planning, just knowing. I am part of this wave. Steffen is part of this wave, and perhaps you are too. And if you are, know this, you are not alone. You have never been alone. We are all walking each other home.
All three. We will start with this, so we will be able to experience that. And the frequency is 144 hertz, also super important frequency for me personally also, and just in general. And it's also seen as a light chord. It's also a D in 432 hertz precise temperament tuning. And the intention is to build a harmonic structure in the field. It is the triadic foundation everything else rests on, right? This is why it's kind of so crucial. You begin to hear overtones in all sound, watching form create form endlessly from its own nature. So you're not observing creation, you are inside it, right? Okay, so let's maybe start with that. If you want to go along with the breath cycle, feel free. It's a 5-second inhale, right? So you inhale for 5, and then you hold for 3, and then you exhale for 5, and then you hold for 3, and then you inhale for 5, hold for 3. So it's like 5-3, 5-3, right? So inhale for 5, and you hold for 3, you exhale for 5, and then you hold for 3, and you inhale for 5. And yeah, and you can focus on your harmonic center. The breath steadies the harmonic center, the place from which all creation moves. Now we go to the fifth portal that we're actually going to experience also. Setting this intention of truth and remembrance and coherence, and then this will project outward. And yeah, this portal is really something else. Like I really love the visuals and the sounds for it. And if you want to go along with the breath cycle, inhale 6, then you hold for 4, and then you exhale for 6, and then you hold for 4. If you want to, like, anchor those geometries with your breath, and the breath balances and aligns, so your intention can move into form without interference. All right, so here we go. Portal 5, projection of intention.